The protracted struggle to find a new speaker was a study in the convention's dysfunction. As Republicans privately and publicly expressed anger at their colleagues at their own conferences, and at least one Republican who managed to force a change in leadership credited the narrow majority for their newfound power. But even if slim majority contributed to chaos of convention, it doesn't tell whole story. In fact, past Congresses have managed to pass groundbreaking and generation-defining legislation with even narrower majorities. Rather, current situation in the Parliament is result of a mix of factors, from broad electoral trends to specific political incentives. This may mean that the 118th Congress was perfect storm, a rare combination of forces that produced particularly uncooperative majority. But it could also mean that the 118th Congress is just a taste what's to come. A new trend of dysfunction that breaks with centuries House tradition. Is Congress abnormally divided? Republicans currently hold a 9-seat majority in the U.S. House of Representatives, with 2 vacant seats set to be filled later this year. One of those open seats is in a predominantly Democratic district of Rhode Island, and the other is in a Republican-leaning district, Utah. So unless there are unexpected vacancies, this margin of 9 seats will remain in place even after these seats are filled. That narrow a margin is extremely rare, according to data compiled by Drew DeSilver of the Pew Research Center. Since 1913, when the House of Representatives reached its current total of 435 seats, the majority party has only twice held fewer than 9 seats. Happened 1917-19 and 193,133. And according to DeSilver's review of what's been passed in past Congresses, the worst-case scenario for congressional productivity has often been a combination of divided government and a narrow congressional majority. However, there are also more recent examples of fairly narrow majorities. In 83rd Congress and the 107th Congress GOP had only a 10-seat majority. And in the last Congress, Democrats had a share of 11 seats. In the 56 Congresses held since 1912, the majority and minority have been separated by 20 seats or fewer than 10 seats. But in all these cases this narrow majority did not last long. Republicans may have held a 2-seat majority in 65th Congress, but after the 1918 elections majority grew to 47. After the 1932 elections, the Democrats increased their 5-seat majority to 194 seats. It took a little longer for the majority to expand after the 1998 elections, but it still happened. Republicans' majorities were between 10-12 seats across 2 Congresses from 19,992,003, but by 200,305 they expanded that majority up to 24. Will Congress remain this dysfunctional? The current Congress is second row to have a narrow. Democrats had an 11-seat majority in the last Congress, and Republicans have 10-seat when House convenes 2023. Will the usual historical process produce a larger maj?